So hello and welcome back to the Firestorm Squadron Firecast. We are again having a round from the Vagabond Open 2. And we have got Ollie Pocknell, the current reigning world champion, using Leia, Wedge and Januars, playing against Dale Cromwell, the Italian national champion, I believe, who is flying Wedge, Karn and AP, so some interesting lists. And we have obviously we have Lloyd and Paul from the 186th Veteran Instincts series. You say hello, guys. Maybe try it again if I let you actually able to talk. Sorry, say hello again.
Hello.
There we go.
Hello. This is not representative of the channel.
Of my channel, it is, not yours. And we have obviously Pond and Dom here as well.
Indeed.
We've also been joined by X-Wing famous Mr. Phil GC.
Oh, he has joined us. Fantastic.
Who's feeling somewhat sodomised by his previous game.
Seems fair.
Did you not go in anticipating Chibber's dice?
I did anticipate Chivers dice, but like I anticipated maybe rolling an evade before I lost 2 ships.
I mean, that seems like a reasonable desire, right?
Yeah.
So, as it is never the dice, let's get on to this game. So we've got Dale versus Ollie here. Obviously, they need a little introduction. To give our own YouTube channel a plug, if you go to the 186 YouTube channel and search for Veteran Instincts, you will find our channel. We tend to do pre-recorded games and have the players on to kind of talk us through what they're doing. And the reason I'm mentioning this is that we've had Ollie and Dale on, or twice, 2 games featuring them, one where Dale comes and talks us through it. And so this is round 3. It's 1 apiece at the moment. And they've taken 2 pretty evenly matched lists, do we think?
Yes. Just as something that might factor into this conversation is about to happen, Dale is actually player 1.
I have seen that and noted it on the...
That's interesting. Yeah, I think Leia is probably the best endgame ship in here, but then Dale's Wedge is better than Ollie's Wedge, so maybe that will offset it. Although again, actually, Jan being present balances that out, so it'll be interesting to see which one comes out on top. They do feel pretty close. I think for this one, Nick, we might need 3 separate polls. The first poll is who do you think will win? The second poll, more importantly, is who do you want to win? And then the third poll is an under and over and how many times we think Dale's going to cheat during this game.
Can I pick 5?
I mean, as long as there's an option for how many times do you think Dale's just going to joust, then I'm fine.
Well, Dale has very much a more jousty orientated list with the 2 lots of proton torpedoes.
Let's put the over-under on Dale cheating at 2.5.
Over.
Hammer the over.
I'm not running that poll. It's not happening.
So yeah, I think I favour Ollie slightly in list building in that I think Leia is an issue for Dale's list. He can't get her off the table very quickly with his Alpha Strike. She's moving after Corran. Wedge, as we all know, Wedge, he's not an I-6 ace really. He's a kind of glass cannon, and he's not going to stick around for too many turns. So you kind of feel like Dale needs to take either Wedge or Jan off the table relatively early doors to have the kind of ship advantage to make up for the fact that Leia is that bit more healthy.
Yeah, he's absolutely got enough Alpha Strike to take Jan off. Maybe
that
Wedge. I
would
feel
be
like you
my
have to
target.
take Wedge off, right? But if you trade Wedges, it's probably not good enough.
No, I feel like Jan would be my target. I think if you take Jan out, then you've got a chance.
And this is the other thing, is Dale's got a very Alpha Strike orientated list with a 3rd ship that's main job there is just to give someone the second action.
Yeah, it's to double ward Wedge, right?
Whereas the more support orientated ship that Ollie's got is still something that's a bit of a threat with being able to have double modded 3 dice attacks itself. And that engine upgrade, giving Jan the white boost option, it makes her a little bit more manoeuvrable as well.
I don't think we anticipated that. I mean, we've got the over-under on Dale cheating, but Ollie has set up with Wedge definitely overlapping Jan there. So early lead in the cheating from Ollie.
Nubs don't count.
I was looking to see if Leia was off
Try
the
that
table.
on an
but I don't
actual
think she
table.
is. Okay, first question then. Corrin has R3 Astromech, so takes 2 locks. Who does he take them on?
Wedge and Leia.
Oh, Wedge and Jan.
Do you take it on Wedge and Leia with the prospect of knowing Ollie? Ollie's not going to be one that wants to take that Proton Torp.
Mm.
And then would it just scare Leia off a little bit, maybe?
Yeah, I think that's fair. But then if you're doing that, I because I'm convinced Jan is my first target, then I think Leia and Jan. I'm not sure about taking it on Wedge, but I think you're right, Phil and Dom. I think especially with a more cautious player like Ollie, you use that second R3 target lock to scare something off. So we've got Dale just sort of conservative moves up into the board, gives himself a nice bank up through that more open area of the board on the top, in the kind of bottom right-hand corner there.
Which means Ollie is going to turn away hard.
Well, Ollie's going to stall this turn for sure. Right?
Yeah, Ollie's setting up for a stall, give himself, a turn to work out where Dale's going. But Leia can certainly flank, but I don't know that Wedge and Jan are so sort of suited to the kind of keep away AC game that Ollie is kind of known for, I suppose.
He's locked Jan and Leia. He's ignoring Wedge with the lock.
Yeah, I think that's what I would have done. I think.
But you are signalling at that point that Jan is your first target, right?
Yeah, but I think the reason I do that is that Wedge will go down to normally modded fire, right? Jan, because of the token stack, you kind of feel like you need the token stack. You feel like you need the torps to kind of reliably damage her, and Leia obviously has a load of health, whereas Wedge will take significant damage even if you just end up shooting your focus. So.
Nick, the board has slipped on the.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Oh, cheers.
Just trying to sort something else out at the minute.
So are we expecting Dale to just sort of keep everyone together and come in for the joust here, and then kind of put the burden of execution on Ollie, that if he gets the spacing slightly wrong, obviously if Dale gets an engagement into 2/3 or even one of Ollie's ships without anything else shooting back, then that's hugely in his favour.
Yeah, I imagine so.
I agree.
We all know Dale likes to joust as well. So.
Yeah, so from this line, obviously, like Ollie's Wedge has a huge channel there that he can just move down. I would be surprised if he does just into it, but assuming that's the plan, and he's waiting for Dale to come into that channel, Jan can then kind of go fast and come around that rock. Where does it leave? What options for Leia?
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because where they are at the moment, if Dale was to 3-bank everything this turn, Jan is already a bit out of the fight, right? She can't too hard because she's facing at that rock. If she 2 straights, she can't bank again because she's facing the rock. And if she 2 straights, then she can only hard turn next turn, and that really
she
limits
can
her range.
boost this turn because she has engine upgrade.
Or she could 2-bank boost this turn.
Fair enough.
Yeah, she's
2
got
bank
that
boost
white
or
boost.
3
I
bank
assume Jan is coming in fast and we're just going to slow roll as much as possible to let the rest of the party get there. But it still doesn't feel. It feels like he's now working to bring everything together again.
Well,
I mean, small things on Dale's setup, but AP5 is the slower of these 3 ships, and I wonder whether he should have been set up furthest inboard rather than to sort of keep up. Although
he doesn't need to keep up though, because he can just sit behind he can move first. The others can just jump over the top of him, and then he can just do the coordinate.
Although the perfect world, right, is when you get a block with AP5 and you coordinate your own ship.
Yeah.
Or indeed just having him in there, because if Dale's list all comes in as 1, AP5 probably doesn't get shot at, because
he's not a
trade of Wedge for AP5 is not a good one for Ollie.
Yeah.
And then at that point, you want his gun in there, right? You want that 1 or 2 damage that he's going to put out, especially given how dangerous he is with that crack shot.
Do you think Leia just hard turns away?
That's
Yeah, Leia's just. Oh wow, Jan is just disappearing. Maybe Lair goes with her.
So Ollie must feel like he can get Wedge out of trouble here, right? So maybe we're expecting the one bank right from Wedge and then barrel roll back.
Yeah.
I think it almost has to be given.
Yeah, or
those
hard
two
to.
moves.
So I saw Ali play a game
Or
earlier.
hard to.
Was talking to him about it just before we came on stream actually, and I popped away from the screen for a minute and came back and saw some messages from him, and the line said, "This is what this list does." So what it seems to do is Wedge goes out in front and goes, "Come on then," and Leia ends up just circling the entire list of his enemy, of her enemy rather, and just shooting it down.
Rolling four dice each time.
Yeah. It just circles like a shark.
I can see that, but you still don't want to trade Wedge
For nothing.
Half of something.
Oh, absolutely. No, I agree.
Wedge getting one shot and then dying is not the best you can get out of Wedge, right?
Yeah, I mean, because where we're at now, if everything 3 banks in from Dale, Ollie's Wedge has got very little outs of ways of actually getting out of every firing arc, let alone 2 of them or 3 of them. You know, he might get out 1.
Yeah,
The 3 bank is a mistake, right? Because it brings you in. You're not getting shots this round, and then next round you're too close. You want to have a range to engage to get the benefit of your torps, and also get extra agility against Wedge. So 3 bank here.
And
is
the 3 bank it also doesn't work because you don't get the lock this turn. In fact, although you've got the lock already with Coral, I suppose.
Yeah.
But you need Wedge to get his lock this turn. So yeah, you do need to go slowly this turn. I think Ollie obviously had a bit of room to react, but had Dale 3 banked in this turn, given the moves dialed in with Jan and Wedge, I think Ollie would have been in a spot of bother, because I think at that point then it becomes difficult to get Wedge out of trouble, and it becomes difficult to get Jan back into the fight.
Yeah, absolutely, because they could do 4 forwarding this turn.
Yeah, the fact that Dale needs to go slower this turn gives Leia and Jan turns to get back in, although I would say that the rocks where they are makes it difficult for Leia to comfortably get into the fight.
Well, he's got the boost, right? And he's got the force. So he can...
Oh,
he's stressed, though.
Do you think he's going to try and more do a move and then try and boost in to go in between those top 2 rocks, the ones more to the left?
Probably, because it's further round for the Dale's list to get to, right?
Yeah.
What he doesn't want is Leia taking ordnance.
Yeah.
So do we think 1 banks from everything with Dale here? See where Wedge goes and react?
I think so.
Because if the kind of... That gives Wedge the opportunity to run back up towards Leia. But I think you're almost going to have to accept that. But if Wedge either comes straight towards or tries to come into this bottom right-hand corner, either way you can catch him on the next turn.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, as I say, it's a bit tricky for Leia to get back in here.
I'm expecting from Ollie's Wedge at 1 forward and then a barrel on left backwards.
I'm just trying to...
It's the strength of the Ewing ability, though, that you just take the target lock a million miles away and just go, here's the pressure on you from the start.
One proton torp and a double, and a modded shot from Wedge. He's not going to get double mods, but a single modded shot from Wedge is going to be enough, right? Yeah, interesting. It'd be interesting to see what solution Ollie comes up with here for Mayor.
Particularly because at the moment Jan is a million miles away from Wedge, so offering the 5th dice to Wedge is unlikely from where the board is at the moment. Which means that even Ollie's Wedge is going to be firing so optimally.
Yeah. And where are the foils on Wedge? Can he boost?
Yes, yeah, they're closed at the moment.
Yeah.
That didn't.
Yeah, so Ollie's Wedge definitely has them closed. Looks like Dale's might be open.
Yeah, Dale's are open.
I don't think Dale would ever close their spoils. It seems very much against his nature.
Yes.
But
it does let you boost.
But with a Wedge who can be coordinated.
No, I am joking.
No, I know you were, but just in terms of the stream and everything, like Dale's Wedge's foils should be closed at this point because he's able to get proton torps off, and therefore he doesn't lose anything. And and he loses the, he's removed the ability to kind of have that element of surprise.
The 3 straight and then boost from Leia though was correctly called by Pond.
Again, was not me.
No, I think it's the joke Pond. He's stuck straight over his head. Bless him. Yeah,
so Leia's going to get a nice. Yeah, I think, as I say, with Dale waiting that one turn before banking into this gap, I think it's given Ollie just about enough time of getting everything back together.
Yeah, because Jan is now in a place where her firing arcs are going to offer Wedge an extra dice next time.
And Leia can get round. But then again, interesting.
Does he just 1 bank boost to the left, and then that gives him his options?
I think, 2 bank from Leia is going to cover that shot. I was going to say he's going to get 2 shots into Wedge, but no, definitely not.
But now Dale has the choice of, do you turn to face Leia, or do you keep chasing Wedge? And if you turn to face Leia and Wedge has turned in, then Wedge flanks you. And if you chase Wedge and Leia flanks you, then Leia flanks you. So
I think you've got enough space. I think you've got enough space though. I feel like the 1 bank with Wedge gets you close enough to get a lock. So the 1 bank with Dale's Wedge gets you close enough to get a lock on Ollie's Wedge, and it also gives you the option to fire at Leia. Corrin can
AP5 starts coordinating here, right, as well. AP5 just passes Wedge a focus.
Yeah, and Corrin can 2 bank in, and then they both, if Wedge 1 banks, I think he can go either side of this central rock next turn. And Corrin with the hard turn also has options. So I don't feel like it's terrible, although Ollie has done a nice job of sort of bringing all of his guns round to get involved in that opening engagement.
So we've still got the poll open for anyone who's interested. It's exclamation vote and then space, and then 1 if you think Dale's going to win, 2 if you think Ollie will win, or a 0 if we think of a final salvo. It is even at the minute. I did vote for Ollie. Tavern Warren has voted against
me. You can vote above or below whether you think Dale is going to cheat 2.5 times in stream.
Well, Bert does think over.
I mean, everyone who knows Dale is thinking over.
Correct.
So does Dale have a choice here other than to turn it?
I mean, he could just go as fast forward as possible, right?
I think
that if you go as fast forward as possible, you end up with 2 ships flanking you pretty quickly.
Well, what I'm thinking there, though, is if he goes a bit faster, because he could easily close his foils with Wedge, and both Corrin and Wedge could go forward and then boost towards Jan.
Yeah, I think essentially
and Corrin's already got the lock.
Yeah.
No, Corrin's locked around Wedge and...
Oh, Corrin's going to change his lock.
Ollie has Dale having to choose now whether he's going to turn left and go for Leia, who obviously has boosting from reposition, or whether he's going to go for Wedge, who has the option to just bug out of this fight. And so now we're at a point where Dale has a 50-50, and if he gets it wrong, he might be shooting nothing.
Yeah.
So if it's you, which way are you going?
I'm doing banks with all of them to try and keep my firing arcs covering every option that Ollie has.
The bank definitely gets Leia out of arc because she 2 banks and then just boosts.
She 2 banks and boosts past, yeah.
Yeah, that was why I was kind of thinking if he went a bit faster and the booster went after Jan rather than.
Yeah, I think the ideal would have been if Wedge had his S1 closed now, that you give him the focus boost forward from AP5, and then you 2 bank him and lock with channels, and get him round the other side of that rock. And it means that if Wedge is turning towards him, he might even bump. That might even bump the 2 hard. I don't think it quite gets there.
Did Wedge boost that?
No, he didn't. No, but
no, it was a coordinated.
No, that's not even the coordinated.
That was K2SO.
That is K2SO.
Okay, right, with you. Which means Wedge is doing a blue move this time.
Exactly, what does move to opposite entirely.
Oh, he coordinated in the what?
Coordinated and evaded Corrin, who then banked and focused.
Yeah.
So he's just trying to token stack everything. So right now, 2 hard from Wedge looks incredible, but definitely isn't happening because he's stressed.
So how can... Was Ollie just not getting a shot this round?
Horrible, I think.
That seems like a terrible choice from Leia this round, right?
Affairs.
Well, because
Yeah.
Wedge can just do the one bank and then barrel roll and get range one arc into Leia.
Yeah, but
Or-
then Leia's
or
behind
just-
the entire
or-
list.
Yeah, but Ollie's done it
Also,
next turn to get behind everything.
Yeah.
The first
Yeah,
3
it's
or 4
interesting,
damage
isn't
into
it?
layer is almost worthless, though, right? Like you have to
Passing-
start doing it at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's an interesting point, isn't it? Because Ollie's passed up a shot there for position, which instinctively doesn't feel great, but may turn out to be an amazing choice.
so Wedge does that, clears the stress, and surely you just barrel roll here with Wedge.
Well, having
Or
said
does he grab a lock
taking-
on opposing Wedge and have that threat?
That's
that
exactly what he
if
does.
Yeah,
Ollie's
Wedge
Wedge
Yeah.
can't
can't
turn
get
in,
out.
right?
And I suppose it's also dictating where Leia wants to go next turn, because Leia's kind of got to do the 2 bank to
So
the bottom of the board.
AP5 and Karin both have crack shot on Januars.
Yeah.
And,
I would have been
Ollie-
tempted to take the shot on
But
Jan.
this,
Yeah,
If
yeah.
Wedge
And
turns
how
in,
does
it's
Corin's
very
ability
big.
work? Isn't that something to do with Bullseye?
Yes. Range,
Nope.
initiative
Yeah,
0.
Corin
he gets
can
to-
double tap.
Oh,
think,
no,
I
no.
think the
Wedge
thing
has
that
come in.
changed. I think the things that changes there is Wedge had to come in now. Given where Jan was, Wedge's only options were to turn away completely, which seems very unlikely, or to turn in. So I think that's why.
I think Wedge is getting wrecked this
But
turn.
I think Ollie's Wedge just dies.
Yeah, like he puts 5 dice into something, and Corin's got the shields to take it, so it doesn't really. Or 4 dice because it's range 2.
Yeah.
Oh, and this Wedge shoots its torp first. So
Yep.
Yeah.
So what you want is the weapons disabled crit here.
or a cascade.
Oh, we have a Julian back in.
Yeah, I'm
Yes, we
not
do.
super happy with Wedge's position though.
I mean,
Only briefly.
I'm not sure if Karin has bullseye.
It's not a great lock so
I'm
far.
pretty sure AP doesn't.
It is not a great.
Maybe doesn't.
It's alright, just do what Martin does and re-roll all 3 of them into crits.
I mean,
I mean, he basically has.
yeah.
Spell and
He's got the
calculate.
calculator.
Jeez,
Yep.
Yeah.
that's gonna hurt.
I,
Yeah, so he takes the 2 shields,
2
and
shields
a
and a
crit.
crit.
That's half of Wedge.
Ow.
With another proton torp coming.
And it's a
Stunned.
Pilot as
I
well.
thought that was a blinded for
yeah,
a
stun,
second.
stun
Blund.
pilot.
Oh god, blinded would have been horrible.
So Jan takes a stress, so Wedge gets 4 dice.
I mean, presumably you just go
I
for
imagine so, yeah.
you go for Wedge back, right?
You have to
Because
trade
Wedge,
Wedges,
Yes,
right?
yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
Wedge has got no tokens.
And actually, this is something we didn't talk about, is that Dale's Wedge has a hull upgrade as well, so it just has that extra bit of survivability as well.
Yeah, which if no crits come in, particularly makes a big difference.
4 dice here, but only with the focus.
Yeah.
So a perfect crit. Dale rolls and evade, and he's looking pretty good here. I
Yeah, he
think.
spends.
Flynn,
the
thank you
focus
for the
if
follow.
he
Appreciate that.
did
As a
anyway,
Han
I think.
Solo salute
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah.
So, and the
But-
crucial evade there. So no
But
crit.
Dale rolling too many dice.
Wedge just roll.
Oh,
I think
Dale
so.
roll too many
Yeah.
dice.
Also
That's
hasn't
cheap.
spent his target log, so that is 2.
That is.
No,
Well,
he's
he's
not.
shooting Corin.
Oh,
He's
oh,
shot
Yeah,
Karin.
that was a shoot.
okay.
Was not expecting that.
So get
Well,
crack
he's got
shot
the
through.
he's got the
So
crack
he's
shot
got crack
and
Double tap
Yeah,
and
that does make sense, doesn't it?
That shield's
He's got
down
the
on
crack
Corin,
shot.
then, isn't it?
No, no. I
one
think
shield
he
left on
spent the evade. Yeah, I
he
think.
rolled
Cor-
an evade, but he cracked it.
no, he also spent his
He has
evade
an evade
token.
to spend, yeah.
Oh yeah,
He just didn't change the dice result on the.
Right. yeah, with you.
No, I think that makes sense because I think that Wedge is the ship that can most consistently damage Corin. So I think there's some method to that decision. You know, he's but it does mean that you likely don't trade ships, so you likely lose Wedge and
Oh, special roll like that.
Also, don't forget, Corin can double tap into Jan at the end of this round, right?
And
Yep.
Corin has crack shot.
Yeah. You just spend it right. I mean, he's going to take the 3 dice shot from Jan with a lot of focus. But
So it's Wedge off the table.
that's a
Yep.
dead wedge.
Those of you
Jeez.
that guessed for final salvo, probably wrong.
and Jan really needs to hurt Corin here. Corin's
And
still
he
got his
took a
focus. Is
wounded
that
pilot.
right?
And, no, he just spent it, I think.
So, Ollie's list, would you take the crew, chopper, or a crack shot on Jan for 1 point?
I'd take a crack shot. in Jan.
I'd take the crack shot on Jan.
I think it's a closer conversation than that. Because Chopper is a get out of jail card for your end game ship.
Well, exactly. But this is we're saying that Leia is the end game ship, right?
Yeah. Well, it's half of Corin for all of Wedge,
And maybe some of Jan.
and maybe some of Jan.
So do you double tap here? You don't get the.
I
I
think you
think-
do.
Got
no
no
mods.
mods. You've got
I think
no
you save
mods.
it and you do
You
the
have
sleep.
crack shot.
Yeah, you've got no mods and it's range 3.
Yeah,
I think you don't.
Oh no,
you
still got a
don't,
focus
but then
token. No, probably not.
and then next turn you can look at something like the sloop.
Because I think yeah, with the sloop, Corin can threaten Leia here or Jan, depending where she goes. But I think if Corin was weapons disabled and out of the game, then I think that's bad.
I mean, I think Dale's gonna be pretty happy for just losing shields on Corin for a dead wedge.
Oh yeah, delighted with that, right?
So Corin's still got. So yeah, the other reason that you don't use Corin's ability there is Corin's still got a lock on Leia. So if Corin K-turns or sloops here, Leia
After
is,
being coordinated by AP.
yeah, Leia is potentially taking a double modded tool.
Well, remember, Jan, if Ollie doesn't worry about Jan powering up Leia's shot, Jan can just burn that lock off Corin with a jam.
Absolutely.
Yes, yeah.
Wedge doesn't. I suppose Wedge is looking for the Talon into the back of Leia.
Corin's moving first, right? So Corin's moving first, so the sleep, he knows it's safe. So I feel
Oh,
like
sorry. Yes, quite
Yeah,
right.
it does move first.
Corin
He is
has
double
to,
tapping, I think.
Corin has to. He is double tapping. Well,
Oh,
that's
he has gone for it.
That's
Oh.
Puts
Two
a
shields.
shield into Jan.
I mean, it did take the 2 shields off of Jan, but
because
Which-
they can't jump.
which was fortunate.
Yeah, hard to argue when you see 2 shields go off Jan.
Yeah.
But for me, the 3 from where Corin is now, moving first, the 3 sloop looks so good.
Yeah, because it's likely going to block
Yeah,
the
It's a
more
K-turn
obvious
bitch,
Jan
right?
wants to do.
Because Corin has a 4K and they are just at range 3.
yeah. So you can do that as
Or
well.
does Corin disengage, AP coordinate a focus for Wedge, Wedge do the Talon roll to the left, because the Falcon kind of has to
Yeah,
come
it's
2
gonna
bank
move right
down,
there.
right?
Yeah,
1 second.
Yeah,
guys.
But once you coordinate Wedge, you're signalling that that's what you're doing, right? So Leia can then just boost around it, presumably.
Rob, thank you
Yeah,
for the
but-
sub, by the way, for Twitch Prime. That's awesome. That's
But-
a
but
hand solo
she
to
still
whether
needs-
people like it or not.
She still needs to do the boost. It means that she needs to do the boost. It means she's not rotating the arc.
Yeah, I'm in 100% agreement, Phil. Leia's options are limited, right? So, I mean,
Yeah,
all of
exactly.
this would be better if Corin hadn't spent that, right? So, if
Yeah.
this turn Corin sloops or K-turns, then it doesn't give Jan many options. Jan would have had a focus, but it's having to rotate her arc to get a shot on Corin. I think that's, you do run the risk of Corin getting lit up by Jan.
Or
from
does
the
Corin
start.
just go for the block here? Corin just go to block Jan.
Yeah, I think he does know definitely that he's
Yeah.
thing. But I agree that 85 jumping over the top of Corin, coordinating where's the target lock on Leia, and then the Talon roll. I honestly
I don't think
don't
does
know
the Talon roll
there's a way
fit?
that
Talon roll
Talon
to
to
the
the
left
right.
will fit. Because Leia's Talon roll to the
Talon-
left, because
Yeah,
Leia's
Talon
going to
to
be
the left.
gone.
Yeah.
Leia's not going to be there. So,
Yes, she is. Dale's moving first.
No, but
Oh, Leia's a
Leia's
5,
is
sorry.
five.
and
I was
Wedge
thinking a
is
hand.
fit.
Sorry, apologies.
Rules of the game.
That initiative's a thing,
We-
right?
we-
That's how
we-
pilots
we've
work.
had this conversation
This-
before. Leia's not
this
going to
is
be
That's why we
there.
asked
Look,
other people
It's
to
my
join.
stream. I'll cheat if I want to.
and because Wedge is not moving first, Leia's options are really limited. So Phil's right. Leia almost
Yeah,
has to
no, you're
break
right.
away.
No, absolutely.
I do like that. And Wedge is full health as well, so he can take the shot.
Because I guess Leia is either just admitting defeat and bumping Wedge, or doing like a 2 bank.
But even if
down
she
towards
bumps
the bottom
Wedge,
of
the
the
3 Talon jumps around behind her.
Oh no, I agree.
Like it's,
I think
it's-
you have to. I think from Leia, you have to bank Leia out here, don't you, and sort of
Yeah.
take the shots out the side into AP5 as a kind of consolation prize, or rotate your arc backwards to try and kind of catch Wedge.
The thing is, like, is there not an
okay,
argument
well,
that
that's- Wedge is
AP5?
not Talon
Oh
roll.
no, shame. Oh, AP5 can still coordinate the barrel roll to Wedge to block Leia.
Yes.
yeah. And then you could do the 4K with Wedge to
No,
jump
but
behind
he's
her.
stressed.
he's taking K2SO stress,
Oh, okay.
but that's fine because Wedge can dodge Leia and just set himself up for his next engagement.
Where's Wedge going though?
It's got to be one banking to the right, right? It's just trying to take Jan off the table.
One back to the right. I'm pretty sure
The
it's on
one
that
bank
rock.
to the right's on the rock.
Maybe a
Yeah.
one bank Yeah, that's a one man to the right turn.
That's a weird choice.
Jen.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
agree with that K2SO.
Not a
Yeah,
fan
He
of that
did
choice.
do the sleep with Corin.
Which is fine because he's coordinated the evade. He's in a decent blocking
Yeah.
position. He's in a nice position to come back in.
And he's got range away from Leia's guns, which are the ones that
But Wedge is in a slightly weird place.
Yeah, weird.
The advantage of shooting Jan is she doesn't have the focus this time, so she's.
Unless Wedge just goes one forward barrel roll and jousts Jan.
I mean, that's a Dale thing to do.
That's like a Dale thing to do, right?
If the one forward fits, then
the one forward
that
definitely
forward
fits.
is really close.
One forward fits.
You reckon? I mean, it's definitely a Dale thing to do.
It's closer than Phil's level of confidence.
Yeah, Phil's a fan of making very bold statements when there's nothing on the line.
I would not like
No, I just
to
think one man
risk
to
the
the right.
one forward.
I mean, I prefer it to the bank, which is definitely either bumping or on the rock, or probably actually both. But the talon roll felt so good there.
The talon roll was like spectacular. It would have been great.
I
Everyone
wonder
tells
with
Dale
the
that he
delay,
didn't
have
have
they
to
forgotten that? Oh no, it's Ollie, isn't it? Making decisions. Never mind. There's no delay. It's just Ollie making decisions.
So the double tap from Corin there has paid dividends, right? Because it's meant that Jan can't get a double modded shot into Corin here, and with a double modded shot, you're looking at 3 dice, 3 agility. You'd be slightly worried about a dead Corin. With a single modded event. Oh, the boost. Okay. Well, presumably then that fit. Wow, that is close.
No.
Well,
That is a
trouble
1-4
here.
from Wedge.
Well, whatever Wedge has done, he's in trouble here, I think.
Yeah, because that's a bump. Unless he's done a one mate.
A one bank to the left and then a barrel.
Oh.
But he's, oh dear. Well,
Can we just
for argument's sake, the one bank would have fit.
The one bank would have fit. Yeah, the one bank would have fit.
However,
I was
This-
correct on that part.
this isn't.
Well,
It's not great.
It's not as
It's
bad as it
not
could be,
all
right?
of. It's not all. Of it.
It's 5 dice going into Wedge.
And AP5 has a chance to put a hit into Jan as well. Like it's
Yeah,
far
I
from
mean,
ideal.
5 dice with a lock, isn't it?
It's
Yes.
5 dice with a lock and the force into Wedge.
Yep.
He doesn't have a lot, does he?
Yeah, there's a lock down in front of Leia currently, which I can only
Oh.
assume
Which
is on
one
Wedge.
next?
There we go.
So Wedge is going to get lit up.
Oh,
And
God.
that's a strong roll.
So you just spend the force?
Reroll.
Ah, disappointing.
Yeah, you're right. Spend the force. We're still 3 hits with a crit.
Ollie, world champion, doesn't know the maths there. Should have rerolled both. But Dale taking
2 shields and a
shield
crit.
crit.
That could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, and if AP5 does damage to Jan here, that's not enough, I don't think. Obviously,
and
it would have been much better with the talon roll from Wedge would have been absolutely insane.
But also,
It's alright.
Hit a wedge
it's a
direct.
And
is lucky,
he
direct
managed
is lucky.
to break
Oh,
through for
the
half
direct
points.
It's a direct hit as well.
the boost for Jan also frees Corin up to just go, cool, 1 forward.
Yeah.
Why does Jan have stress? Oh yeah, because of
Boost
the
is
boost.
ability.
This is red.
Oh, hang on. AP can coordinate stress ships, so Corin can take the locks before he moves.
No, he can't
Yeah.
because he's too close.
It's range 0 to 1, he
outside
can't
of
take
range
the lock.
1.
He's at range
Oh, is
2,
it?
so
Okay.
he can take the locks. So
Yeah.
Corin can just go, fine, I'm just going to lock Jan, and then 1
AP
forward.
being able to coordinate a ship with a single
Has
stress
AP5 just done 2
very
damage to
helpful.
Jan here?
No, Jan.
No,
Yeah,
Jan's
Jan's
doing
fine.
AP.
The other way around. Okay.
So now it's only fair that he does the same back, right?
Yeah.
This is how it
I'm
works.
expecting like triple crit from AP5 and just kills Jan.
I'm expecting Jan to be absolutely fine the way this turn has gone.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Hey.
That's lucky. That is lucky.
I mean, from losing Wedge, this game is definitely not over. Losing Wedge turn.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I mean, who knew losing one of your key ships in a very early part of the game would be fine?
Well, I mean, we
This is not my experience of X-Wing.
It's not Ollie's
How many-
experience at all of how he became world champion.
How many points is Dale's Corin?
So Dale's Corin is 85 points.
Okay.
Quite a lot of points.
and we know how good Leia can be, and especially as an engaged ship, is what we were explaining before. And
And
she is
also,
still
Ollie
untouched.
now has options with Leia as well. From where he
Yeah.
is, he can turn away, he can kite round.
Yeah, from having such a good first engagement, Dale having won on the modded 3-dice shot this round there were options to get a better.
I don't think Ollie realised he's put Jan's dial face up on the board.
Probably not. But and this is what we see with this board position and stuff. That talon roll with wedge would have just been brilliant.
And the thing again is, so we want to, in the commentary, kind of guard against making decisions now, having seen where things have gone. But I think the thing that is sort of frustrating, having watched it, is that it was always going to be fine. Like the worst case scenario, if Wedge did got coordinated block and did the talon roll, was he's trading with Leia.
Yeah.
That's as bad as it could have been.
And it's trading with Leia. It would have been trading with Leia at range 2 as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so there was almost no downside. It was very difficult for Jan to get shot onto Wedge if he talon rolled. Whereas the one bank or the one straight or whatever he had done, it was the one bank in the end, was always risky because it was always possible that Jan was going to be in the way. And even if she hadn't been, then Leia's getting the shot anyway. So I understand the desire to kind of focus fire Jan, and if you do, if Ollie doesn't boost and the one bank does fit and Wedge kills Jan, then obviously Ollie's in a very good position. Dale's in a very good position, but
yeah,
it felt like a much more high risk play. And I think having been ahead, he didn't need to make that high risk play.
And I think this turn, Wedge kind of has to do the talon roll this turn.
Yeah.
Maybe we've got a fan of Dale's in the chat.
The alternative is a barrel roll right from AB5, and then K10, which I don't love.
No.
I don't even know that you can stay close enough.
Well, Jan's going to stay where she is. If Ollie does the manoeuvre, if the dial is what it is.
Leia can move first.
Leia can move first, Nick.
So at some point I'll learn what initiative does in this game. But it is not this day.
So I presume if Ollie sticks to that move, I presume what he's thinking with Jan is that she's running at this point. She's one banking that she's two straight and she's clearing her stress, and then she can
Boost.
She can bank round or boost round, whatever, and just be there to give Leia the extra dice. And Leia's going to have that double modded 4-dice shot and can burn stuff down. But yeah, so Wedge has got a talon roll. It now might be over that rock, but maybe not.
I was about to spin that. Do we think the talon roll clips the rock?
Talon roll left does not clip the rock.
But you also thought a 1-4 doesn't hit the rock.
That's
The 1-4
confirmed.
The 1-4 didn't hit the rock.
And you
So
also
what-
thought the one bank would.
What we have done is, by doing it this turn, not last turn, it might clip the rock now, and it wouldn't have clipped the rock before. But also, he's not going to be coordinated from AP5.
Yeah, because AP is going to be too far away.
Yeah.
But Corrin is in a decent position, although he's halved.
Yeah,
so...
but Leia can just blast into Corrin and take him forward.
It's quite hard to take an E-wing off the board even with no shields left because he's still got 3 agility and probably a token.
Well, I think
he went for the target lock.
He went for the target lock, of course he did. Dale could have evaded there, right? He had the target lock in a different ship. He could have evaded, but But still, I think Dale his thought process is reasonable. That if he gets Jan off the board,
he has a chance, right?
Then he has a chance against Leia, right?
Yeah.
If he gets Jan off the board and has Wedge and Corrin left, then all you really need from Wedge is that one big hit before she dies,
Or just strip shields before the proton torp goes in.
Yeah. The thing, it doesn't really help. Jan could bump here, but actually just loses the token and won't do. So, Leia coming around the bottom, 2 banking left, presumably, or 1 banking left, just sort of keeping arc on.
Well, just 2 turning in is probably the way to go. But it really could be anything, right? She has her entire dial open to her at this point.
I changed the dial.
Sneaky.
Interesting.
I mean,
I
that's
think
not.
Leia just bumps.
Yeah, I mean, Jan is still in proton torp range, isn't she, from Corrin here? She can't really get out of it.
No, I think her best bet is to focus, or she's got 2 options, right? I think you focus and maybe think about rotating backwards, linking to rotating backwards.
Yeah, there's a reasonable chance Jan
Is
dies
she
this turn.
going
If she
to jam Wedge and Leia jump over to the left?
If we think Wedge is K turning, then the jam is worthless.
Wedge, is what 2 turning left is the only way he gets a token.
Yeah, and I think not worth it, right? Because you get the token, but you don't get a shot, and you might,
Yeah.
you know. So I think the town roll is the only choice. You could rotate. The problem with rotating is you get stressed and therefore can't use your ability
Yeah.
if you focus rotate. So maybe you just focus, stay where you are. You know, hope you live against Corrin, but if not, then try and put some more damage into AP5.
But also, if Corrin spends his second
you-
proton torp killing Jan, it means
look
he's
at
got
that.
one less proton torp to go into Leia.
Yes.
And this is it. And then do you just go, well, I'll just focus out with Jan, which is what
Yes,
he has done, and then just see if we can just trade
There you goes.
trade
Where
Jan
I
for Corrin.
said it was. I got it right.
Yeah, and you just trade Jan for Corrin.
Oh, is AP5 going to put
Wedge-
3
Wedge
hits
do the
into
town roll.
I don't think AP5 has a shot.
Oh, that's a shame.
It's really close. It's one of those, because Vassal is so precise, I don't think AP has a shot.
So plus side for Dale is that you can't kill Wedge and Corrin this turn.
No.
So unmodded, so you're going to be crossing your fingers. If Wedge performs miracles against Jan, then obviously you know that swings things massively.
Yeah. But do you not think though that if it's Leia versus one of them and AP5, that's just Leia's game to lose?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think you need both. Though one hit from Wedge, which is not enough, which hits 1 damage through into Jan. Still take the shot here on Jan, I think, from Corrin.
But Leia can't have the 5 dice into Corrin this turn because the firing arc is because Corrin's not in Jan's firing arc.
I
thought
wonder whether
Leia
there's
had
an
one
argument
for
for
Yeah, it's
putting
fine.
4 into
Oh,
Leia
Leia.
this turn. Because if you put 4 into Leia, you started doing the whittling, and Wedge should kill Jan next turn.
So I think you spend the lock here to try and keep the
This
focus.
looks like a proton torp there.
Yeah, I think you
This
spend
is.
the lock here to try and keep the focus.
He's got fire control, right?
I was going to say he's got
Yes,
5
yeah.
dice,
Oh, right,
so
well,
you
then
just
you
you just
can't.
re-roll that 1 dice, don't you?
Well, it's whether you spend the focus right. You re-roll rather than and
Yeah, I
focus.
I think you re-roll well.
Yeah, I think
Particularly as there's a guaranteed crit landing
Yeah.
already.
Yeah, and you just go, hopefully Jan doesn't roll double paint. Yeah, you
And there
FCS
you
it into a hit anyway.
Nice.
So that's Jan dead. But she will be around to buff Leia.
Yeah, and she'll be arranged to take a shot on AP5 as well. So you feel like Dale needs to get away with very little damage here from Leia.
So
Yes,
power regulator
yeah.
does nothing.
Do you think,
Stun
for the
pilot
extra
does
die, do you
nothing.
think Leia takes the shot into Wedge?
Blinded pilot.
That's
What do you-
that's
Might-
big.
might do
Not
something,
ideal,
but-
but
The double
No,
stress was what he wanted there, right?
Yeah, no, I think Leia goes in. Leia's got the lock on Corrin and goes for the 5 dice range one into Corrin.
Yeah, all day long.
One hit going into AP5.
No, because blinded pilots, he can't spend
you
it.
can't spend it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And so
But
here
it does take the stress here to go. Oh,
and the lock.
look,
No,
and
the
spends
lock
points.
doing nothing again.
There's a crit going through him into
Corrin's definitely taking the crit.
Oh, Dale.
That's all Corrin.
And did the lock get spent and not do anything? or
Yes,
did he not
yeah, it was
use
blanket to
Yeah,
blank.
yeah, he rerolled blank into blank.
Again, we need to have a conversation with Ollie. He should have been re-rolling the blank and the focus there.
But Corrin now is a blinded pilot.
I've had this conversation with Ollie a couple of times, and Ollie's view is having that guaranteed eyeball is better than the potential that he rerolls into
It's,
2
yeah,
blanks.
it's loss of version, right?
It's his conservative way, isn't it? He will always play the play those odds that way, so that he knows he's got something rather than.
So blinded is not great on Corrin.
Well, AP5 can 1 forward and fix it for him, and then Corrin can K10 and fire a torp.
Yes. Yeah.
AP5 is the best chip in the game.
Is Corrin not
No, it's not because
now
Ahsoka can do
spent
that
both his torps?
and more.
Yeah, but AP5 is 31 points.
Does Ahsoka not say it has to be an action on your action bar?
No.
No, she can
Uh,
call
Perform an
You
action.
got that wrong on the stream the other week.
Yeah, AP5 is 32 points, but Corrin has already spent both his proton torps, so he
Oh,
can't.
because he fired the other one at Jan, didn't he?
I do like how often you watch our stream. It pleases me.
But yeah, having used AP5 today, I am a big fan of AP5 for 32 points.
But Wedge still has 2 lots of torps or 1 lot of torps?
One.
but
It
not
feels
gonna be
like there's not quite enough of Wedge and Corin left though.
No.
especially given the position this turn, right? Because
Should
Wedge
Corin be on
Wedge
two?
is not going to get.
Corin should be
Well,
too.
So I'm going to restart the
So-
poll because I think it's an interesting position that we're in at the
I-
moment.
I don't like a one bank from Wedge, by the way. I'm just going to throw it out there. I think that's what Dale's doing, and I don't like it.
Again, he's left it on the board.
No, I don't like it either. I think.
I mean, he's done them both.
He has.
Well,
Yeah,
He's
He's just giving up. Well,
he's-
at least
he's
Ollie's style is already on the table.
I mean, he's basically just going, nah, we're just going to leave it like this, right?
so anyway, so ignoring Dale styles, what I think I would do is one bank or maybe two bank AP5 in the same direction, but not the three bank. So I think the three bank goes too far, and then if Ollie one banks, it doesn't bump. So I think your goal with AP5 here is either to bump Leia or to force her to go away towards Ollie's board edge.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, which could too hard to get a shot, but actually may as well close foils one bank
One bank
Focus
focus
and-
boost.
focus boost, get the token, and still be in a decent position for next turn, and again have to clear the shot again next turn and get a shot. And
Yeah.
Corin, I think you probably just sloop to get the shot this round, or sleep or K-turn to get the shot this round, and then sort everything out next round. So I think I'd one bank 85,
That was finally
Left.
realised.
one bank 85 left, and then as Lloyd suggested, fix the blinded on Corin, and then Corin sloops this turn, I think, and gets ready to set up the next turn. And I think that's about the best you can do.
Or does Corin do the 4K? Because if he does the 3 sloop, he's blocking the one bank.
Yeah, I
from
think the
Wedge.
4K is nicer.
Yeah,
Everything is kind of a bit in Wedge's way.
Yeah, Corin's moved first, isn't he? Yeah, Corin, everything is a bit. So maybe just go forward with Corin, you clear your crit and you take a lock. When you can't, you're too close. Don't know. Just take an evade, try and stay alive. Don't like Corin's position.
Well, Corin's already got the lock, so he doesn't have to worry about taking a lock.
If you slooped with Corin, you maybe then just 2 hard wedge or 3 hard wedge and accept they both stay stressed. But at least you get them facing the same direction.
Try and just
and
get some
each other's
shots
way.
into Leia.
Yeah.
Problem is, if you don't block Leia, she then is just around
Oh.
her and she's chasing.
But if you one bank or 2 banks to the left, then the only way you don't block Leia is if she goes straight or banks back towards the board edge. If she goes straight, then the only thing she's shooting is AP5, and if she banks out towards the board edge, then she's not in the greatest position to run next turn. So I feel like it covers the worst possible maneuver, which is that Leia banks left here and then boosts around the corner and doesn't get shot by anything. Like I feel like that's too quick because I think the one bank from Ollie doesn't get blocked here, if that's what he's done.
Yeah, it only blocks like one thing, right?
Whereas if it's a 2 bank, it blocks another move as well. Another 2 moves potentially.
Well, he's done the calculate stress thing on Corin again, so Corin is clearly not turning around.
And
It's
then
just
it must
coordinated.
be. I mean, I suppose it could evade, but could fix blinded pilot.
I think you evade this
You can
turn,
do
get
both,
away,
right,
and
'cause he's going to get an action.
Yeah, fixes blinded.
Both times he's K2SO'd, I haven't liked it.
No.
I think it was the start of the problems with Wedge, right, when he K2SO'd and
Didn't
couldn't
turn well.
therefore
I
turn-
guess
didn't
this
turn well.
turn he was just recouping, get away,
Yeah.
calculate evade,
he's cleared the.
clear the blinded.
Yeah.
And so he still has an action.
I mean, he also knows the point situation because Dale is up 117 to 80 at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Where
if,
time,
but-
if
that's
Leia's
a-
just on a 3 forward, AP5's getting wrecked.
Oh yeah.
And this is a full health layer against 3 reasonably damaged ships.
Yeah.
Leia could just take each of these ships out with 1 shot each.
Yeah, each of these ships are probably taking
Interesting.
1 or 2 shots before they die, right?
but if you delay it a bit, then and you half layer, then that might be enough. But it's they're all a bit too hurt, aren't they? You needed one of them to
Oh,
be
they've
above half.
gone that way. Okay.
Yeah,
Ah,
I think
isn't
she
it?
might boost towards the bottom of the board to get away
Interesting
from
layer.
Well, Leia's taking fire next turn, certainly.
The boost stresses him.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
the following
something
turn
more.
is blues, or he just used the force to make it a blue. Hard turn.
I suppose, yeah.
Is that
Well,
what?
then Corin comes as the
Uh,
doors up.
That's
that-
different.
Is that what that layer does?
That's not how Leia.
Friendly
That's
ship
not how this
execution.
layer
I'm getting
works.
confused with Leia in the last
First one
round.
through pilot abilities. Initiative.
This is why I'm
To the
here,
five
so
on
the
fire.
stream knows what's going on.
Today we'll be teaching the basics of X-Wing through trial and error.
Same way we teach children.
So AP5, this is not a great turn for Molly, right? AP5 probably survives here. I wonder if Dale his closest foils. Has he been
No, because Wedge can just barrel roll, right?
Yeah.
Do you think you can lock them? I think he needs to.
Oh yeah, no, Wedge will.
Oh no,
Position
because
somehow.
sorry, Leia rotated. That's fine.
It would have been a great turn for Wedge to just close foils and boost.
Yeah, boost focus, right? Boost focus.
I mean, it'd be 2 versus 1, but you know what? It's still the chance to get a couple of shields going.
Yeah, still
and that's
bonus
what
damage.
you need, right? That's what you need. Unless
Or
he
to
thinks
force
he's
Lair
got
to spend the
range.
force.
Has he
of
got
the
range?
fence.
He's got range.
Yeah, he's got range.
No,
We know
he's gone for the
shit.
target lock.
We do.
And
not know.
there's the swearing.
Oh, sorry.
You're
Yeah,
doing
it
so
was
well.
target
You were right. It was Dale that's got you to do
You were
it.
doing so
No, it
well.
was Dale doing something. It was Dale doing something good. That wasn't how it was really.
Yeah. I mean, he's declining a defensive token.
Oh,
But-
that is close.
Yeah.
He's
So
going
he
for the
comes to
proton
talk.
torch.
Does Ray have a shot though? Sorry, Leia.
Yeah,
two
I think
weeks.
so.
She must
Yes.
do, right?
Yeah, I think,
He's
well, I
going to
think
get the proton. Going to get the proton top in here.
Yeah.
No.
No, bro.
No.
Saving it to double mod it, I think.
Nice.
yeah, he's just got just
I actually quite like that because Leia
Well,
doesn't
it's
get a good
okay.
shot next turn.
It's okay as long as he's alive.
yeah. It would be 3 with the force versus.
Oh God.
Jeez.
Well, I don't know who this is into. This is interesting.
This is
Three
Leia.
gotta be into Wedge,
It's got to be
right?
Wedge.
That's Wedge into.
No, that's Leia.
No, it's Leia.
Okay.
Takes
Hit
hit
crit
crit.
into Wedge.
2 crits, yeah.
2
Takes
crits.
crit.
Dale
I mean, that's
needs
bad luck, right?
Wedge
That's
not to
that's a way over average roll for Molly.
Damage
Damage
engine.
engine and
Is it
anything
direct?
but direct.
Is it direct? Flip
What's
it.
the drama?
I'm gonna flip the card in a second if he doesn't. Oh!
It is a direct.
And it's gone.
Oh, that's game.
Oh
Dead.
dear.
Well, unless
So lucky
85
that
does
he's
11
saying-
on this shot.
Could have spent. Yeah. Yes.
But if he closed foils and boosted, none of this is a problem.
Yeah. If you
Yeah.
close full and boosted, then it's 3 shots, right? You can see from where he is that he's then
Yeah,
not
yeah.
in arc.
Yeah.
No risk.
But it's alright, AP5's got this.
No, it's alright. Corin's got this. It's fine.
And you know what? If he did do that, is AP5 now declining to shoot? Because that feels.
I think. I mean, what that felt like was Ollie threw a dial down before.
Yeah. AP5.
But I am. I'd say, did AP5 engage? I have to ask the question.
So it's going to be 3 health Corin jousting.
2 health, Corin.
2 health Corin jousting 13 health Falcon.
Yeah.
That sounds perfectly reasonable.
It's an 11 health Falcon because he lost a couple of shields. But yeah.
Yeah. So Corin presumably turns in this time, takes an evade, double
Yep.
taps.
And praise.
Yeah. And then tries to do that 2 or 3 more times, right?
Oh, 2 hits. AP5's trying.
Oh, that's another
It's
2
now
shields.
9 health Falcon.
Crack shot.
So if you look at that, so, yeah. if we look at that, right? So again, it's just the awareness, right? And things like foils are, you need to remember it beforehand. You need to kind of have the plan going in. But had he foils there, then Leia, even with the really good roll that she got, is very unlikely to kill AP5 because he's got that 1 more health.
Yeah.
No, it's the same point. Which died from
Was it the same
Which
point?
died with 3.
But
But it also means that next turn, where Corin is in front of Leia,
Yeah.
Wedge is in the side, so the Falcon
Yes.
has to choose to shoot one or the other.
and so
Absolutely.
you get another shot out of Wedge into 0 agility.
Yeah.
With and you
you
can
think
get the
just-
proton torps off. You can do all of that.
We're thinking just 3 hard boosts from Leia here.
To get into range 1, yeah.
No,
Just range 1.
Don't think
4
you want to be
dice,
in range
trade
1,
for
right?
Corin.
Because range 1, like,
Feels
it's unlikely.
bad.
I mean, you don't want to be there either, to be fair.
But if you boost now, you get out of the double tap, don't you?
Yeah,
I think.
I think you do. I think you chest myself.
I don't know, big base boost, maybe not.
They don't fit everywhere.
No, medium bases do.
The medium is
There you go, Nick. We've done all of the greatest hits.
with
Put that on the
the
t-shirt.
arc now being at the front as well.
It has been discussed to make.
Would you consider just chancing the boost into range 1 to go for the kill?
I think so.
Yeah, that's what we were thinking.
If it goes wrong, though, that's how you lose.
He's taking the lock.
That's very true.
He's taken the lock.
Did he not have a torp left?
No.
No.
It's only wedge had torp. Okay. I hear lots of conversations. Most of them are in my head.
Ollie's taking the 3 damage because he's just going for the kill on Corin. It would be 3 versus 4 with lock and a force.
Oh.
And he's done it again. Just reroll the blank.
2. It's only 2.
It's only 2. 2 versus 4. He gets
Down to
1. He's alive on 1.
Double tap.
Has to double
He
tap.
double tap.
No,
Yeah,
I don't think. No.
I think you double tap this turn and try and block, right?
Yes.
I think so.
Spends a
'Cause
lot.
he's still got the target lock. So
Have to
spend a lot.
spend it. Hit crit.
So at least a crit going through.
I'm not sure.
Doesn't spend the lucky FCSs, people.
So it's crit.
He did spend the look.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks Alexa for that wonderful contribution to the conversation.
Yeah, well, so fuel leak.
The pure league is interesting.
My thought about not spending, about not
Double tapping.
double tapping, is this turn. If you bump, brilliant. But if you don't, then you're in trouble, and you only get 1 more shot in the game, right? Or you get no more shots in the game. Whereas if
Colin's
you-
only move here is a 1 bank.
But if he'd kept it and slooped, right? So if he'd slooped, then Ollie either bumps, which is fine, or he flies over the top. And if he flies over the top, you get the opportunity to potentially double tap next turn. Although it's
But
only
Ollie can just do a slow move, potentially trade shots. I meant if he sloops, the only way he's going to sloop is
I
either
think what I'm saying
either
is
right
you
or
get-
left.
You get 1 more shot into Leia either way, I think.
Yeah.
And if you don't spend it, you get the potential maybe to double tap next turn. You know, even if you're dead, because they're at the same initiative. You know, if you
No, you would die beforehand, right? You'd die in the initiative 5
initiative
step.
0. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
But
So this
that's
again is just a 50-50, right, as to what Corin blocks with. So he needs to block, what, a 3 turn, a 3 bank, a 1 bank.
2 bank towards
a
the board
cheeky
edge, I
1
think.
forward.
1 bank towards the board 8.
It's amazing how close it is, though, right? So imagine a wedge torp that last turn,
Would have made massive difference.
you know, and then all of a sudden Leia is on 2 health,
Yeah, Leia took an awful lot of damage.
and still has 2 ships firing out of this turn.
Yeah. Presuming that AP5 is just going to 3 bank down here to try and stay relevant.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't get a shot this turn, but probably does get. Well, if he gets the block this turn, AP5 gets a shot next turn. And
Well,
at that
8
point, the
minutes
numbers become
and-
really interesting.
Yeah, with 8 minutes and 2, he's got to get AP5 back in there fairly quickly as well.
Yeah, it's not done, right? What you're hoping for is a block, and then between AP5 and Corin,
But at the
they can
moment,
do 5 damage to Leia.
yeah, and at the moment, Dale's up on points, right?
Yes, Dale is up 159 to 117.
Yeah, Dale, he's not going to run, and he can't run because it's a Falcon.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's Falcon's moving after him as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay, he did the 2 bank with AP5, so he
Did
wasn't
stress.
stressed.
Because of stress, yeah.
So that blocks the
So
1
I
bank,
think-
blocks a 2 bank,
I
might
think block the straight.
block the 3.
But I think the straight is risky, right? Because if you do the straight and you get it wrong, you might be off the table next turn.
You got to take the lock here, right?
No, you take the evade.
He
Corin can't take the lock here, he's at range 1.
Oh, well, that solves that, yeah.
Good. Thank you, Phil.
Phil is here to be our rules
In which
judge.
case,
What?
you evade and
No,
Oh, he's not at range
Oh, no.
1.
He's not
He's taking the lock.
Taking the
He's
lock.
not at range 1.
most
So he's
things
counting.
I've ever
He's
seen.
counting on the block then.
You were so
Yeah. So he needs to
so
block the
convincing,
win,
Lloyd and I didn't even question it.
Yeah, he's
I
counting
questioned
on
it.
the block.
Oh my word! Oh, that's what he's done.
I was seeing what he could have done.
Oh,
Yeah,
great
He was
block.
just trying to check to see whether that
Good
worked.
job.
He's gone from something brilliant to something, oh dear.
This
And then-
isn't done, you know. This isn't done.
Right.
No, because
When-
Karn can now sloop.
Yeah, no Dale, you
And
definitely.
AP5 can get there fast enough to give Corin a token, by the way.
You reckon?
Can he? Can he go
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
3 forward is
3 forwards? You're not
No,
going to be
3-4's
far
too
enough.
fast, yeah.
You need
I
to at
forgot
least
his
the 4
fours,
forward.
stressful.
So Corin does the K-turn here, yes?
I think the issue for Dale is that I think how this plays out is Leia straights or banks up towards AP5, halves AP5. Is that enough for the victory?
I don't think he does. I think he does
No,
a slow
Don't
maneuver
think
to the
so, so he's
left.
16
I
points.
don't think
I
he
want
halves
bank, or
AP5.
one-
I think he kills AP5.
Well, okay, but we don't know that, do we? But he's going to take a shot at AP5. Is half of AP5 enough to on points?
No.
No. Okay. Well, that's
But finishing off Corrin will put him in the lead by 1 point.
Yes. Yeah. So it's in Dale's favour
that
that
fuel leak on Leia is a
bit
high risk
scary.
thing. It's high risk.
What? Kate Turner's Corrin got?
3
4K.
sleeps for 4K.
So 3 sloop is probably better, right? Because it opens
Yeah.
your arca.
Yeah.
3 sleeps to the right.
Yeah.
So the 3 sleeps to the left seems daft.
Yes.
Although,
It
yeah,
does, but it's an option.
It's
a good
not.
option.
It's not.
it's not an option. It's a land you on a rock and possibly kill you option.
I mean, technically, you're true. It is an option. It's just not a very good one.
I didn't say it was a good one, just said it was an option.
So what do we think? So just to clarify on the point situation, so halving AP5 is not enough. Killing AP5 is not enough either.
No,
Chris Burnett
Yeah.
says all AP5 is not enough.
no, because AP5 is 41 points, so that'll still put Ollie behind by 1.
That does make things very tricky for Ollie because he needs to stay close to Corrin, which
He was trying to give tokens to both, so he is seeing, but that
Corrin
coordinate
is
does
more
not.
than Leia, is it?
This might be a target lock. Calculate
its
AP5.
layer is halved.
Yeah, so Corrin's 85 points, Leia is 83.
83.
Oof! Wow.
And because of that, because of the fuel leak crit,
Yeah, that's big.
That
Leia
was
is vulnerable.
That was a coordinate, I think. A failed coordinate.
I
Yeah,
just
if that had been
assumed,
a lock, I'd have loved it.
I just assumed that Leia was more expensive than Corrin.
This is not a good spot for Leia.
But it's about it's Ollie
It's about as good
needs
as you can get.
because Ollie needs to kill Corrin. Running away is no good for him.
No,
So he needs to sit there and he needs to just hope that he doesn't take 5 damage from these shots.
Which is entirely possible. With
Yeah.
if a crit lands
But-
and flips that, then
But if he doesn't, then he's away, right?
Yeah, and he's not in the bullseye, so Corrin can't double tap if he does survive.
yeah.
Didn't
Yes.
Corrin double tap last turn?
No.
No.
it's the
He
No,
bumped
no,
last turn. It was the previous
before,
turn.
Okay. Thought we were about to get things. So only
So
2.
Ollie's going to allow that to go through.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
puts
now,
you
so
off
now if
for 4.
AP5 puts hit crit and he wins.
Yep.
Oh, jeez.
Oh no!
Oh.
He's got the target lock.
Spins lock.
Hey.
Oh.
Triple natural evade from Dale.
No.
No.
Oh, wow.
I feel like AP5 has to kill him here.
AP5 has crack shot.
Hey.
Oh god.
I feel like Dale's
But he still needs to hit crit.
Just to remember the conversation at the start of the stream, yeah?
I know, right?
Focus crit and then crack shot. That's what we want to see, boys. Oh, not enough,
Oh,
not
there's
enough.
2 heads.
Crack shot
Yeah,
not even
sure.
needed.
Slayer down to 1 health. AP5's totally got this, right?
No, because Leia's away now.
Yeah.
Wasn't enough. Oh well. Good effort
Wow.
by Dale, I think.
But do you think AP5 just too hard?
Isn't it? Yeah, I was going to say, can
He's doing it on the board as well. God
Yeah, sure.
damn it, Dale.
I'll re-put that up a second. I was going to put the time remaining up.
Yeah.
don't think that's an issue anymore.
No.
Like,
They've got less than 3 minutes at the moment.
Yeah.
Dale will do well to get another shot on Ollie here.
So, I mean, in terms of Ollie's choices, right? So he can bank left and run.
Is that
But if AP5 2 turns in, he gets a shot.
Well, at the moment, if Ollie doesn't half AP5,
Oh, we actually
they
have a
have
seller.
both done 159, 159,
Correct.
and it would go to finals.
Oh my god, no.
Ooh, new plan. AP5 2 hards away.
Yeah, too hard away.
Yes.
You've
Too
got the
hard
rear
away.
arc.
The 2
You've got
hard
the
away is
rear arc.
doubly good
Yeah,
if Leia is playing for a bump.
yeah.
Yeah, this is brilliant. Because, yeah.
Who
One
called
hand
Salvo
away,
in the chat?
Too hard away. There's no way Dale knows the points currently.
Because the final salvo would be quite funny.
It would be.
You
2
don't want to
versus
bet against
3.
Cromwell when it's red dice on the die.
No.
Yeah, although Ollie with Leia, again with that reroll into 3 hits.
Yeah, but you don't get a reroll in final salvo,
No, I
and
know.
he needs the rerolls every time. It's always
true.
been the rerolls.
Right, come on Dale, too hard away.
So yeah, at
There's no
range,
chance.
AP5 is more likely to do 1 damage to Leia than Leia is to do 3
Yes.
to AP5.
Correct.
100%,
Too hard
right?
away. Too hard away.
Because he has crack shot.
The only problem with the 2 hard away is no
I
crack shot.
mean, you can't crack shot out your bum, mate.
Shh.
Suspense.
It's an insane ending to this game. This is
Oh, you went the
ridiculous.
wrong way. You went the wrong way.
Going too hard in.
Although the bump is fine, I think, because then we get our final salvo.
Guys, I'm going to love you and leave you because one of my teammates is about to play in the Vassal team event, and I
That's
want to
stupid.
Go
Wait for the end of the game. There's like 3 turns left maximum.
Literally 3
Get
times.
back here and stay here. Where are you going?
How long have we got left?
Tell
like-
Louis to
this
delay
is
for like
30
10 more
seconds.
minutes, and then we'll stream his game afterwards.
It's literally 3 games.
Right, now what does Dale do?
Back up 1 left.
Oh,
I
they
I
got
need to reboot
back
my
up.
computer though. So.
I love it. I fucking love it.
That's 2 squares.
Did he take the lock last turn?
No, he didn't. He calculated.
Oh, boo, coward.
Does he just 3 bank up towards the top of the wall?
No, I prefer the reverse, I think.
I like the reverse.
Because that also
Because-
opens up crack shot.
Because
Oh,
Ollie,
yeah, they can
because Ollie
reverse.
can't
That's brilliant.
boost out and get shot. I don't maybe if he hard turns. If you reverse, if Ollie hard turns towards and then boosts, though, then you get
No,
shot.
he's not reversing.
No, 2 bank.
Take a lock?
I mean,
He's calculated.
No.
Leia's
Had
gonna,
playing
Dale,
cautious,
had
playing
Dale
this.
done the hard 2 the
Does
other
he-
way, he
does
would
he
be in a
take-
winning position here.
Yeah,
Into
man, alive.
SO.
Can you imagine? The hard to the other way would have been so good.
Yeah. Because he K2SO'd, gave himself the stress, then did the brew.
No way that fits. Surely. not.
Wow.
How does that fit?
So, 4 dice, lock, calculate. Look 4, sorry.
Yeah, versus 2
Julian,
dice.
give us
It's
some
still a
odds.
risk. This is a
With double
risk.
calculate. This is a huge risk.
Because you need your die. You need 4 hits. You need 4 hits.
Yeah.
Expected
uh,
damage
3,
here is under 3.
Rerolled it.
4.
Spends
He's
it.
got
Done.
4 hits.
No,
No,
gotta
because
be
he's got
done
2
yet.
green dice
2
and 2
paint
paint.
is okay.
He needs 2
paint
paint.
is-
No, dead.
Oh, Ollie's layer dice really helped him out in the end of that game.
They
They
really
really
did.
helped him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because AP5 shooting back.
You
Really
killed
good
him,
chance to do that 1 damage and just kills him.
Just rolled it, just got 3.
Dale just rolled it for the
And
sake. So yeah. So if AP5 lived there, dead layer. And AP5 wins the game.
Gents, I'm going to disappear and go and cheer my
That's
team.
Go on,
again.
GC. Good job. Thank you.
AFL.
Cheers.
Thanks for having me. Great evening.
That
Cheers.
concludes today's stream. I hope everyone watching at home had fun.
Not yet. We've got to talk to the guys for a minute. If we can get them in. They should be able to,
Well,
because they were in the call previously.
Right, that's close.
Oh, that was hilarious.
That was ridiculous. So
That was
159 to 159 before that turn.
Yep.
Oof. Hopefully they see.
Hello?
Join. Hello, there's Adele. That's a good start.
Oh,
Hey,
indeed.
Dale.
So is
Bad luck.
Ollie
Bad
going to
luck.
come join us as well? Hopefully.
Dale.
That was literally on the last turn, that one, because we just rolled it out and it got 3 on the return shot.
But did you
saw,
know
we saw.
that you were both on 159 points destroyed before that turn?
No, I
There we
never
go.
know what's just
Ollie missed that. Ollie, do you know what the score was before that turn?
I'm aware that I was winning.
No.
No, it was
No.
159.
Oh no,
to
yeah, because sorry,
159.
AP was above. I mean,
AP5
Yeah,
is
it
cocked
was-
up.
like the problem was that I need to either get the range 1 shot or I need to get a shot in without getting shot back. So
Yeah. That move cleared by a third of a nub.
I don't. Yeah, just
And
let's
it
not.
just fits inside the nub as well.
Let's not.
that was a
was-
superb game to watch.
I was so terrified that that I was not going to get 4 hits because Leia, like, I don't think she managed to re-roll into a hit all game. Yeah,
Apart
like,
from the turn before where you rerolled 3 blanks.
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
that
she
turn?
like three blanks in the first place. I don't know. Like there was that was swings and roundabouts. Like Dale got a pretty good engagement there. I messed up the Leia boost.
Yeah, that opening layer not shooting.
Yeah, it was big. I was hoping to do more damage to Corin though with a crack shot wedge and Jan.
I
Just range 3.
Yeah, if the 3 agility ship right, then we can always go the other way. But
Yeah,
then it flipped round the next turn because we were all calling the Talon roll from Wedge on that second turn of the engagement.
Yeah.
and sort of shot, if not proton torp into Leia, and obviously getting with wedge bumping and not getting a shot, that kind of swung things back around
Well,
the other
the
way.
plan, honestly, the plan was for Leia to just trade with wedge. I was expecting the Talon roll left instead of the one bank, so that's why Jan went there, so that she could take a focus, shoot wedge, and boost Leia into a 5 dice into wedge. As it was, got the 5 dice without the shot back. Ugh, I don't know, like, Leia's a monster, but I traded wedge really lightly there. They'll flew that well.
It was a very good game to watch.
Oh,
Yeah, absolutely. On a knife edge, right? Absolutely was.
Corin. Thank you, Dale.
The chat is asking, can we roll what the final salvo would have been, please?
Because it was 8 versus 8, because Jan has a
No,
title.
No. The final salvo.
Ships on board.
Ships on the board. 2v3.
Oh, wait, was it equal?
2v2, isn't it?
Yeah, you
Wait, was it actually equal points?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
159
159 to
159.
Go on then, Dale. Roll me 2.
No, I've shut down the laptop, so you're
Alright,
Yes,
alright.
well, 1-1 in the series coming into this, and it came down to quite literally the finest possible margin.
So Ollie would have won by 1.
Yeah. Jesus.
That was it was ridiculous. They called it in the chat. They said it was going to be final salvo.
Brilliant.
It almost
All
was.
thanks to that crack shot, Dale. If you didn't have the crack shot on there.
I know, man.
Oh damn! The AP5 was a hero. Like doing that too. She did. I think AP did 5 damage to Leia over the course of that game.
Yeah, AP5 is incredible value for his utility and like just everything, right? The double arcs, the coordinate.
I realised on the second turn the just how good K2 and coordinate was. It was just like,
Yes.
oh, okay, so I just have to joust him because I need to get one of those aces off the board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Wedge can double mod before he's moved.
Yeah. I think I went for the wrong target though. I think I should have tried to trade wedge for wedge.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we thought that.
We all agree.
However, well, that's the thing. Like Dale just didn't give me wedge. So
It wasn't.
I think even with the position you were in, we were kind of expecting you to shoot at wedge, just because the three agility of Corin made it. I think you also had focus evade. I think I'm right in saying for that turn.
Yeah.
And it just made it so much less likely that you were taking Corin off the board.
no, there's so many things. I was just like, okay, cool, this will be fine. Like I'll just Corin, I'll get the crack shot, I'll probably get Leia, and then it was just like, oh yeah, he can coordinate and evade before he moves. Shit.
Wait. All night I've had only one swear. You just added another one.
Well, if you told me
Oh,
that,
no.
you invite me into a Facebook call and don't tell me we're live. So.
I mean, you should know, but that's okay. I apologise for not telling you in advance. That is my bad.
I'm not sneak watching the stream. I'm not getting hints.
I mean, we could tell that you'd have been putting in down moves if you were doing that.
We both left dials face up on the table, so it's all fine.
That was
That's why I pulled them off the board as soon as I saw them. No.
I thought they were just.
Thanks for
they were
doing
just
that for Ollie
being-
and not me.
I didn't see yours quick enough. As soon as I saw them, I went, oh, okay, I can't move all those dials, so I just
So Ollie sneaky changed his anyway.
I didn't. It was on the board and then it stayed on the board.
No, it went from a 2 straight to something else. 2 bank.
Oh, 1 bank.
1 bank.
But what? No, the turn that I saw Dale's dials, it was a half.
No. We're saying when you.
No,
when
your
you set
dial.
your face up. We're
Oh.
not saying you reacted to Dale's moves.
It's just funny. It was just
Wait,
funny.
what?
Interesting. You put a dial down for Jan Ors, and when you had it face up on the board, it was a 2 straight.
Yeah, she went 2 forwards and then she boosted.
I didn't think so. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It was funny. Anyway.
She went 2 forwards and boosted.
Okay.
That was why the one. I just thought I was thinking for a solid minute and a half about whether or not to boost. That was why it seemed like a move.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
But it was an absolutely super cracking game to watch. It really was.
I felt like I kind of cheated Dale out of it at the end. Like he got the opening engagement. It's just Leia is so hard to put down.
So would you rate this as a really strong list at the minute and extended and stronger than your world's winning list?
I don't think it's stronger than the Imperials, but it's a really good extended list. It gives things problems. I think Honestly, I think if you just want to take Wedge and Jan and then fill the rest of the list with whatever you're good at flying, like I'm good at flying a Falcon. I've seen a couple of people. I know that Dom was using it with what is it?
Braylon and AP5.
Braylon and AP5. I really like Jake, so my previous version of this was Jake Wedge with proton torpedoes and AP. And Lair. Yeah, like it's another one of the really good extended lists out there right now. I think that anyone is just jumping on like the CIS or the Bobber train. There's still a lot of stuff that hasn't really been explored as the meta is developing away from all of the droids in the world. And I think as we're seeing less droids, it allows for more things in the meta. So I'm curious to see if there are any points changes in the future. What happens from there?
Timo calling out Wedge Jan Lando in the chat.
It's good, but it's not as good as Leia. Sorry, Timo. Lando is.
I'm with Timo. I think Lando's better.
You're wrong because he gets blocked. Like, okay, so in a vacuum, Lando is obviously better. He's got a focus. He's amazing, but you can't do crashes and still have a force. You can't boost around the table with impunity and expect to like not get blocked.
Yeah, passive mods are great.
They are. I mean, you're not wrong. Like Lando is an absolute monster. I just think the way that I fly Leia, definitely inside the furball, I prefer her to Lando.
Cool. That's all really synced. Well, that is going to be the end of the stream for this evening. It's been a good, fun 4 hours or thereabouts. So thank you so much for all of the 186 guys. So Ollie, Dale, Cormac, GC, Lloyd, Paul, Dale, everyone that was on. Did I miss anybody? Did I get everybody?
Martin.
Martin Chivers.
Julian.
I knew I missed one.
And
And Julian, of course, he's right there.
Well.
Thank you. That's why I have people on my team to keep me going. No, not rude, just a bad memory. So, but thank you so much for running the stream and doing all the commentary today. It meant I could take a bit of a back seat, which was pretty cool.
Well, thanks for having us on. I really appreciate it. And yeah, Nick, Phil, and other Phil, we watch the stuff and really enjoy it. So it's nice to be on.
Cool. And for anyone who's watching, please do check out the Veteran Instincts on the 186th YouTube channel. Is it 186 underscore? Or is it just 186?
Pass. If you Google, if you YouTube search for Veteran Instincts or for 186
Wicked.
Squadron, then you will find us.
Yeah,
guys,
And
check that out.
Ollie's
It's awesome.
own, yeah, Ollie's own Ollie 186 channel as well. For
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Yeah.
Twitch,
I've got my Top Gun series coming up soon.
which looks awesome, by the way. I'm very excited for that.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna get
very
the next one is
very
going to be
good.
obstacles. It's going to be fun. When I get a free second, I'm in too many leagues right now, but when I get a free second, I'm going to do some obstacles recording and how to do rocks.
Yeah, because you wrote a great article that some time ago, which I think
Yeah,
is still
it's-
relevant.
It's still good.
Oh, it is.
Thank
Looks
you, Nick
interesting.
and Dom in the bungalow.
Oh, I was on the bungalow in this instance.
Okay. Well,
Oh,
please, you guys also remember to like, subscribe, share, do all those things. Keep the notifications coming in. Thank you again for all the donations we had today. For the Twitch Prime sub we've had. Also helps us keep going and be prepared for the next round of events when we do get back to the actual table. It'll be wicked. So thank you all for watching and have a good night.